You are convinced that we have lost our way on the Heisman Trophy. Tell me why you think that.
Yeah, we've lost the plot. The award is supposed to go to the most outstanding player in college football, right? Let's leave Stetson Bennett out for a second. Let's take him out. Is C.J. Stroud in the top 4 best players in all of college football? Because I don't think he's the most outstanding player on his offense. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is more outstanding. He's a better wide receiver than C.J. Stroud is quarterback. I understand the importance of the position, but still. Is Stetson Bennett the 4th, really, at worst, the 4th best player in all of college football? The 4th most outstanding player in all of college football? No. C.J. Stroud plays quarterback for Ohio State. That's why he's here. Stetson Bennett is a cool story who plays well, good quarterback on a great team. That's why he's here.
I will certainly give you that Stetson Bennett is not the best player on the University of Georgia's team.
He's not. He's good. He's a good story, though, and people undersell his ability. Good quarterback. He's not a charity case. He can play. Kid can play. He's not the best quarterback in his division, and he's not the best player on his team. Why are the people that vote on this so consumed with quarterback? Jalen Hyatt, for example, from Tennessee. He averages 19 yards per catch in the SEC. 19 yards per catch, has 15 touchdowns. He has 1,270 yards on 65 receptions. Why do we have to just hand it to quarterbacks? Michigan's best player, bless him, is out for the season, is a running back.
Yeah, Blake Corum.
He's been unbelievable this season, but Stetson Bennett's been better? That's what I don't like. Is why, and it's been like this for a while, but can we really not dig any deeper than quarterback on a playoff team? Is that really what the Heisman Trophy is supposed to be? Because C.J. Stroud's not the best player on his offense. He's not a top 4 player in college football. This award is a waste of everybody's time now.
It's still prestigious, but no, it is different than it once was. Hey, Dad, if you had... Now, we know the reason that the 4 were invited was because they had votes that had them reasonably in the neighborhood of the guy that's going to win it, right? I mean, I don't think many people think that Stetson Bennett is going to actually win the award on Saturday night, but he was close enough in the neighborhood to be invited.
That's part of the issue, isn't it? Who's voting Stetson Bennett in this group? You're supposed to put out
a bunch of people
3?
did.
Well, but who? Why? What's the thought process there? The stats don't bear it out. I mean, he's just the quarterback for the best team. That's his resume. I'm the quarterback for the best team in college football.
3,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Rushing yards are fine also. But best player in college football, I would agree with you that he's not it. But I would ask you this. So we know the reason that those 4 guys get invited to New York, because they're the 4 that got the most overall votes, and it was close enough to bring 4 in the past. Sometimes they've done 3, sometimes they've done 5. We got 4 going this year. So if you had to say the 4 players that should be in New York, in your mind, Brian Haydad, in your mind, Michael Borky, who are the 4 that should be in New York, that in your mind would give this award legitimacy once again? Who you got?
Caleb Williams should be there. He's had a fantastic season. I don't have an issue with him.
Yeah, 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions for Caleb Williams. He's been unreal.
Good player. Good player. The guy who was the favorite for 6-7 weeks was Hendon Hooker. And I know he's injured, but why does that take, away? If he doesn't want to, he's not going to win, fine. But that guy was the best quarterback in college football from week 1 to week 11. basically.
27 touchdowns.
There's no reason for him not to be.
2 interceptions in the SEC.
And led his team to number 1. No reason for him not to be there. There should be a running back there for sure. Either Corum or Bijan Robinson, probably. And then I agree. You know, I hate to say 2 Tennessee guys, but I mean, Jalen Hyatt is the best wide receiver in college football. There's not a defensive player. Will Anderson didn't have the kind of year that he had a season ago.
Right.
There's not a guy who just stands out for me on the defensive side of the ball as like, okay, he should be there. But yeah, well, you know, there should definitely be a running back and a wide receiver in the room.
Would you have a problem with Brock Bowers being there? Tight end from Georgia?
It's an interesting choice.
726 yards and 6 touchdowns as a receiver, and also 6 carries for 93 yards and 3 touchdowns. The numbers don't bear it out for Brock Bowers, but you got to look beyond just what's on the stat sheet.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't have him there, but he is one of the best. If we go by the idea that they're the best player in college football, then Bowers has a very strong case, because just watch him play. There's no other tight end doing the things that he does.
Who would your 4 be, Orky?
I would have to decide between Hyatt and Marvin Harrison Jr. Hyatt, by the way, got an NIL deal with Hyatt, like NIL as it was supposed to be. Good call there.
Yeah.
Corum and Caleb Williams.
You know, don't you think Hilton should have made a big offer for Hyatt? It's been like, look, we can really have some fun with this.
And yeah, and
like my name might be Hyatt, but I stay at the Hilton. Yeah, exactly. I stay at the Marriott. I mean, that's a great ad campaign.
And I would, if you bring for Hendon Hooker, despite his injury, couldn't play obviously in the last game and a half. But like Haydad said, he threw 2 interceptions all season. Was the best quarterback in college football until he was no longer able to play because of his injury. Just a little bit of depth is required. I mean, when you look at Harrison Jr. in Hyatt's numbers, they are staggering because their reception totals are small, right? So I've got him up. Hyatt has 67 catches, which is a small number considering he has 1,267 yards, which is 19 per catch in 15 touchdowns. I mean, that is doing that in the Southeastern Conference, the league that has the best defensive backs in America year in and year out. And people couldn't cover him. They bracket covered him. Didn't matter. He would still get open, and not even a thought. Just crazy.
I know everybody has Alabama fatigue, and if you're going to win it a second consecutive year, I mean, your numbers have got to be insane. But Bryce Young's one of the 4 best players in college football.
I wouldn't argue against you.
His numbers
so is Will
way
Anderson.
down
His
from a
numbers
year
just
ago.
weren't ridiculous.